God damn.
Yeah, in each rental where we're at, each door does a minimum. Let's be minimum here is $1,800 a month per door. Do the math on that.
The One Percenter Podcast with Sam Bakhtiar, bringing you the 1% knowledge to help you reach your full potential. Learn what it takes to rise above the 99% and become a 1%er.
Welcome to the One Percenter Podcast, guys. This is your host, Sam Bakhtiar, and today we have a show that is really for me because I want to learn how to make money from Airbnb. And Chris Thomas, he's known as the king of Airbnb rentals. So when we connected, man, I'm like, I got to get this guy on the show and figure out, how I can make money from Airbnb and how this thing works. Because, everybody says they're doing it. This is a man who's actually doing it. He's sitting in one of his 25 units locations in Chula Vista as we speak. So a little bit about Chris, though. Not long ago, Chris Thomas was broke. He was in massive debt on food stamps, all while living on his grandma's couch. He had nothing but a strong desire to get out of debt and make enough to provide for his son, Christopher Thomas II. With this strong desire, Chris quit his job as an advertising sales rep, dropped out of high school at 15, and he became an entrepreneur. After 2 failed software startups, Chris went from 0.13 cent in his bank account to $38,000 in 27 days and 6 figures annually thereafter. Fast forward to today, Chris Thomas has a short-term rental portfolio of 217 doors and counting. Chris is also a prolific public speaker and author of a short-term rental riches. Chris, welcome.
Thanks, Sam. I'm glad to be on, man. You mentioned one thing in the beginning, man. You said the king of Airbnb. Let me touch on that. A lot of people do say they have a lot of rentals or they have this amount of rentals. These guys on YouTube, I laugh at it, Sam, because I have as many rentals as they have collectively. So I just laugh at it, man. I'm just whatever, So I am the real king that's really doing it on a daily, when it comes to getting these rentals, man. And it's a good business.
So how'd you, first, get into Airbnb rentals? Tell me how it all came about.
So it came about out of necessity. I was working with a bunch of guys who were like flipping houses and stuff like that. And I wasn't successful at it. I'm really good on the phone, but that's a Shark Tank business. It's a really good business for those who, can go 6 to 9 months without a paycheck. But probably it was the people I was dealing with. So it was out of necessity. I was on my grandma's couch. And it was bad, dude. It was really, really dark, Sam. And my story is similar to yours, man. And I relived your story less than 2.5 years ago. And our story, I would say, our story 2.5 years ago. And you can relate. And so I just looked at real estate investing and I stumbled upon this article and this YouTube video from this guy who does Airbnb rentals. And I was like, I could do the same thing, but put a little swag to it. And let me find how I can do this. Keep in mind, Sam, I didn't have no money, right? I had 13 cents in my bank account. I had an EBT card, that was like $200 on it or something like that. And I would get microwave dinners with it. And what I did is I would say, what's the smartest way to get into this business? Find people with money. Mm-hmm. That's it. And that's how it started. I went on LinkedIn, messaged 500 people. I had a couple people reach out to me, said, you know what? I'm fascinated by it. Let's chat. I had 11 people jump on the idea. They picked up about 3 to 5 rentals. And two of my people we manage are Persian. So what are the odds of that? So they actually picked up like 7 each. And we still manage their rentals till today. And that's how it all started.
So it was just finding, because you said something that is very, very important for our listeners to understand. A lot of times we want to open up a business, but we don't have the resources. A lot of times it's a money issue. I don't really think it's a lack of resources. Money is a lack of resourcefulness. Mm-hmm. Even though you had no money, you were resourceful. You knew where to go to get the money, and you weren't afraid to, to get some doors shut in your face. You message 500 people. Out of 500 people, you got 490 people, 495 people shut the door on your face and like, who's this guy? But you got 4 or 5 people that message you and they're like, okay, we do this. From 4 or 5 million, you started a business out of a thin air, and you're able to get where you want to go. And that's a huge, huge message for our listeners. It's not the resources, it's the resourcefulness. I might not have any money right now, but I can get it.
Right. If you're to start all over, you can get it. If you went to zero, I know you'd be right back at it in less than 9 months.
Absolutely. And that's what you did.
Yep. 100%. You know, what's crazy. Let me touch on that. Most of my people that, that listen to me as well are in that position where they have a lack of resources. But that's our biggest thing, is our lack of resource is our greatest resource, because that captivates creativity.
So true.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. We get creative. What can we do to do it? Or we can have the excuse to not do it. But regret weighs tons and effort weighs ounces. So,
and you more creative when you're hungry.
100%.
You ain't creative when you're eating.
Nope.
You're not creative. You get creative when you're hungry. When you got to eat, you got to figure out a way to eat. You get creative, and that's where you were. You had 13 cents in the bank account, $200 in your EPT card, and you were like, man, I'm hungry, man. I got, I had Christopher Thomas II to take care of. I got to make shit work. Now, tell me about the business. I'm interested. I'm interested. Let's just say, I'm interested. What do I do next? Our listeners are interested. What do we do next?
Well, this is the fastest way to get started. It's using common sense. If you're in an apartment building right now and you have a 2-bedroom and you don't use the other room, you can rent out that space. All you have to do is ask your property manager or owner, and 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes. If you're already staying in the unit and you've built that trust with them, what's the difference of you inviting another guest inside of your home and then paying?
You can Airbnb a room.
Yeah, that's what we do.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can Airbnb a room. That's our model now. That's what we're transitioning into. We transitioned from having 1 bedrooms, which I'll get into in a second, to now we're going to 2 and 3 bedrooms, 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms in some studios in downtown. But you're interested, you're someone new. Use your common sense. If you have an extra room inside of your room right now, you could be making upwards. If you're in California, hear me out. If you're in California and you have an extra room, you have an extra space, you could be making upwards to $1,800 to $2,700 on that room. That pays for your rent. Boom. Right? If you have a house and you have some additional rooms inside of your house, you just have to check with your HOA if you have an HOA, or the legalities within your area to see what is the laws of short-term rentals, and that's how you get started. Or go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just looking. I'm like, all right. So I have an apartment right now. Let's just say I have an apartment. I live in an apartment. It's a 2-bedroom. I pay $2,000 a month. And now I put my other room on Airbnb. The management said it's okay, and you said I can get $1,800 to $2,700 a month from that room. Now, so the first thing I'm looking for, I'm like, all right, so am I renting this room by a week? Because obviously nobody's going to pay $2,700 a month if they're staying the whole month, because they can get the apartment for less than that, whatever, right? But so is it by the week? Is it by the day? Is it by the weekends? And also, if that's the case, well, shit, what kind of tenant am I getting? I'm almost feeling like I'm renting a room by the hour. Shit.
Hey Sam, you asked me you asked 3 questions in 1 question, man. So let me touch on a couple things a couple statements you said. You said, are you renting it by a weekly, monthly, or something basis they can get their own place, right? And the second part of that, you stated, what did you say? Let me catch it again. Oh, can you screen people? Okay, so the first thing is you can set those parameters. If you want the person to stay a 3-day stay, a 2-day stay, I always recommend a 2-day to 3-day stay minimum, right? So you're making that so you have somebody who can afford it, number one. And number two, you can screen everybody that comes in, okay? You can't see their profile picture or nothing like that, but you can screen them based on the reviews they have and what type of person they have, based on how long they've been on the platform, those type of parameters. If they're verified through Airbnb, and you know what's crazy what you just said? They can go rent an apartment. They can go on a hotel, but some people just want to stay there for a little while and move on with their life. Yep. That's why this business is nuts, man. It's it blows my mind, Sam, how many people are not doing this business, man. It truly blows my mind. Like, I'm surprised that real estate investors are not like capitalizing on this opportunity.
All right, so Chris, I don't have a room to rent, or I'm
Mhm.
not willing to rent a room that's in my house. You know what I mean? Let's just put it that way. You know what
Okay.
I mean? But I want to get an Airbnb. What's my next move?
If you have money or no money, if you have some liquidity or no.
Let's just say both. Give me both.
Okay.
Let's go with no money.
Okay. If you're with no money, you want to find.
Then I go to LinkedIn and message 500 people.
Right. You could do that. That's what I did, and it works. I have a guy who does that today. He's from Nashville. I'll get into that story. 19-year-old kid. I'll get into that story in a minute. You could do what I did. Start a management side where you actually find properties in promising areas based on data you've collected from a website we use called AirDNA, which tells you the occupancy rates. Let me touch on AirDNA for a second. It's a site that shows you how much the rental will make. It shows you if the rental is promising. It shows you if they want a 1, 2, or 3 bedroom. So it shows you the demand, and all you have to do is what? What do entrepreneurs do, Sam? Fill the demand.
Looking for demand and fulfill the demand.
That's it. Just like you did. The transformation camp, man. People need to lose weight, look great. You you dropped it in Chula Vista, and it's just transforming a ton of people. Hundreds of thousands of people. I even see those. That's another story. But that's the same thing with this business model. We're pretty much, you want to make somebody's life better by making them money. And if you're making them money, start a management side of the business. Okay. And the way to do that is to reach out to investors or people who have capital. If you can't do that, you can find a friend or a family member who's in a promising area based on your research to say, I will put this on Airbnb and I will manage it for you for a particular fee. There is no excuses to get started in this business. There's like 5 different ways you can make money in this business and not even have a rental. You could be a co-host. You could be a manager. You can have a cleaning company. You could do so many things to get access to these people who have doors that need to that want to put that door on Airbnb or entertain the idea. Person with capital, a person with liquidity. This is the mistake that I made. Okay. The mistake that I made is I used my capital, right? You've got to get access to debt. Okay. If you're any business person knows that debt is the expedited way to success, right? So what I recommend is if a person has some liquidity, some good capital, 10, 25K, leverage that capital 4 to 7X with a lender to get multiple units in that promising area. That's the smartest way to do it. And the way to get those units is you're renting apartments to rent out the apartment on Airbnb legally.
Got it. All right, man. So so let's just say I have 25 G's right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to borrow some from Isaac right now, my boy, 25 G, I come up with 10. We're going to Airbnb together, Isaac. So
Isaac, where's the cake, man? You got to put in on it. You got 5 on it.
Isaac is my man, young stud, money saved, career going. Let's say we come up with 25 G's, right? All right. So then we go to AirDNA. Looking for some demands. You know what I mean? Preferably you want to look around the area that you live in, but if you're not, wherever money talks, wherever occupancy, has it, we go where the demand is high, right?
Mm-hmm.
We look at, let's say we look at do you recommend single family home or multi-units?
Great question. You're typically looking for a place that if you're first starting out, you want to go with small property managers or a landlord. Okay. When you're first starting out. However, if you have that type of capital, like you and Isaac have that 25K, and say that you guys are not going to go leverage debt and you guys are just going to use your 25K, understandable. Just look, what you want to go for is high rises and penthouses. Preferably because you have that capital and you can acquire 2 to 3 units, 5 units at a time at 2 to 3K at a pop. And those people will entertain that idea because you have that capital. If you I've literally walked into a skyrise in downtown and picked up 7 rentals like that.
Okay. So I'm missing something.
Uh-huh.
So how are you picking these up for so cheap? Are we buying them or are we renting them?
Renting them.
Got it. So you rent apartments,
Uh-huh.
you rent high rises, then you Airbnb them.
That's it.
Oh shit! I never even thought about that.
Man, Sam, we should have had this conversation a long time ago, man. Man, it's crazy. This summer we've had our best year ever.
thought
99% occupied on every single rental.
I thought for sure it would have been like, I'm like 25 G's. I'm like, can't buy nothing for 25 G's in Southern California. Now, thank you for clarifying that. You just blew my mind. So what about, what renting versus buying?
Okay. This is an argument that me and my buddy, he's a single family residence type dude. He has like 12 doors. He actually has like 14. But yeah, whatever. Me and him, his argument is I beat him every time. I beat him in cash flow. I got there faster. I made how much he makes in a year and a month. Okay. So how do I say this? There's a yin and a yang to this business. Our business is travel. If travel stops, we stop making money. If you don't know what you're doing, right? Traditional real estate is based on a lot of personal credit. This is personal credit. On our portion, it's based on business. You're acquiring the rentals in a business. You can get in the door faster with the business. You have to wait months to have your personal credit qualified for a home. And if you're putting 30 G's down on a property, you know how many rentals I can get for 30K? Even in San Diego.
Say no more. We're going to exchange numbers. You're going to help me get my first Airbnb like by the end of the month.
I'll help you get 10.
I'm ready to get started, man. You just blew my mind. I'm like, what? Because first when you said, okay, you have 217 doors, something like that, probably more right now, 217 doors, I'm like, damn, this guy got credit. This guy got money.
257. I'm at 257 as of yesterday. I've just picked up 40.
So you just blew my mind. You have all the upside and none of the liabilities and none of the, you're not tying up your cash flow. God damn.
Yeah. In each rental where we're at, each door does a minimum. Let's be minimum here is $1,800 a month per door. Do the math on that. This month, our average door did about 2,700. And I believe in in August we did about 3,700. Wow. So that was a pretty good month, man. That's how I picked up all these rentals. So,
damn, bro. I mean, I don't even this is like, talking to you right now got me feeling like the first time I saw a professional bodybuilding show. I'm like, I don't even want to be here. I want to go lift. Right now, I almost want to say, hey, Chris, thank you for being here. We'll see you later, and let's go look at some rental properties. Shit, that's how I feel right now, man. I feel like, what, dude? Man. So, Chris, other than doing this, I'm sure, obviously you came here, you dropped some bombs. You dropped some bombs that I've never even thought it was possible. To be honest with you, I don't say that lightly. Me and Isaac are looking at each other like.
How old is Isaac? How old is it?
Like you in, I might, we might be able to come up with maybe a couple of $1,000 more than 25. Maybe we come up with 26.5 or 27. Maybe we can, you get the piggy bank out, but so do you actually help people do this, start them off? Do you have a mentoring program for this, or because you're somebody who not only is you're doing it yourself, you know what I mean? So are you teaching your method or doing it for them, or what else do you do?
Nobody should buy anybody else's training but mine. I'll tell that right now. Yeah. And if all your followers are listening, all the guys that you guys bought training from, guys, listen to me. They do not have the rentals they're promising you they have. I have 5x the rentals probably your mentor has, and that's the truth. Okay. My training goes step by step how to do this business as if you're a newbie to someone like yourself who has capital, and to scale this thing up even that much more faster. So it's for the rookie and the PhD. So, yes, I have a training. It's called the STR Academy. That one makes a killing for us too. I help out when I launched that thing, I had no students, and within the matter of like 12 days, I had like was it 400 and something students sign up. Now we're at like thousands, but yeah, I have a full training that helps people too.
All right.
100%.
All right. So it's called stracademy.com.
Yeah, it's STR Academy. I'll send you the link. STR Academy. It's through Teachable.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, brother, anything else that you do that you want people to know? Because obviously, man, like I said, man, I'm like, what? And I'm totally interested in what you're doing. Anything else that, where can people find more about you?
At Get Chris Thomas, GET Chris Thomas. I barely started this social media thing in October of 2019 because I worked hard in silence and I let success make the noise. But you know what? I don't believe in that no more. Just like you shook your head. I was like, you know what? I need to show people that I'm actually doing this, and now I am. And let me just tell you real quickly. My mom had me at 16 years old, gang. I was a single parent household, just like yourself, Sam. And I could have gave my excuse that, my mom left me, we're in the hood in East San Diego, and I could have stopped me from doing things I wanted to do. But what I did is that all my lack of resources was my greatest resource because, like I said, it helped me create. I started an entrepreneur at 15 years old. And all the stuff, all the bad stuff that have happened, the very nasty things that I've seen in my past have served me for who I am today. And it's my greatest blessing, just how you grew up in PA. So, and same thing here. And there's really no excuses to get into this business and to make your life that much more better. But the way to get there is to see yourself there before you even arrive. And that's the way I started. I saw myself as a successful person before I even arrived at that place or at this place I'm at now, where I'm walking into a building with, old dudes. And, I'm a, 30-year-old young man. They're like, really, man? They're not used to hearing that conversation. Like, I will pick up 40 units on all 3 of your buildings you have right here. And they're like, holy moly. Like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'll give you a check right now, 150K, boom. And they're like, whoa, they're in shock because they're not used to that, So especially a young African-American male, they're like, oh man, it's a blessing in disguise, man. So it's crazy.
I always said, man, your setbacks become your biggest stage for your comeback. And you definitely, have shown that. Okay, Chris, one more time. I want you to tell people where they can find you. I want to make sure we're crystal clear because I know you have Get Chris Thomas. You have STR Academy. Just go ahead one more time because I want to put it in the show notes. I'm going to have it in there, but I want people to really, really find out what you're doing and get on this. And this is, if somebody can do it with 13 cents in a bank account, there's no fucking excuses, man. So show, let us know.
All right. So to find me everywhere you're looking on social media where you're typing in your fingers, it's at Get Chris Thomas, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, you name it. It's at GET Chris Thomas. You'll find me everywhere. YouTube, you name it, Instagram, whatever your favorite platform is, I'm there. Your eyeballs could be there. Okay. I have a training, step-by-step training called the STR Academy, how to get your first rental in 27 days with no money, no credit, and no experience. Okay. And I've helped thousands of people do it. One thing I want to touch on is I have a kid in Nashville. Okay. He started with no credit, no money. He's a 19-year-old kid, just graduated. This dude has 11 rentals making $57K a month. Okay. One of my greatest success stories I have. He'll be at 35 rentals at the end of November. And he's a 19-year-old kid, and he's just absolutely crushing it. And the proof is in the pudding.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you. Gosh, man, you blew my mind today. Like you said you would. You told me you were going to bring it, and you did.
100%.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. Hey, guys, if you liked today's episode, do me a huge favor. Go ahead and leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel. Leave me a review, and tag a few friends that you think can benefit from what we shared today. Really appreciate it. God bless.